In today's tour, we step into an eco-luxury rainforest haven where modern living is thoughtfully woven into nature's heartbeat. Lush canopies cradle architecture that breathes, and every material choice honors the land. If you love timeless design with soul, you're in the right place. Please subscribe, like, and comment to support more heartfelt home tours. From airy pavilions to shaded courtyards, these homes balance sustainability with serene indulgence. You'll see natural textures, vintage accents, and smart systems working quietly behind the scenes. As we explore, notice how each space invites slower living, gentle light, and layered comfort, an elegant dialogue between craft and climate. We'll highlight biophilic design, passive cooling, artisanal craftsmanship, and those tender vintage touches your audience adores. Stay with us to gather ideas you can adapt at home, no rainforest required. And don't forget, your feedback guides the next episodes, so tap like, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more soulful design journeys. These eco-luxury homes are not simply built beside the rainforest, they are embedded within it, cupped by ancient trees and cooled by living shade. From every vantage, green corridors stretch beyond the eye, reminding us that nature here is not a backdrop but the dominant geometry. Homes respond, they don't impose. Humidity, filtered light, and dense ecology shape form and function. Roof lines slope to respect root zones, foundations float to avoid soil compression, and windows frame living tapestries instead of fences. This is architecture written in courtesy, elegant, quiet, and deeply aware of its place. Soundscapes also dictate design. Instead of traffic or appliances, the homes are enveloped by choruses of birds, distant water, and rain on leaf. Acoustic calm replaces mechanical hum, creating a wellness effect no spa could replicate. Living here is an act of sensory recalibration, a return to unforced rhythm. Biophilic design here is not decorative, it is structural. The homes are shaped to orient toward breeze, filtered light, and long views rather than toward furniture layouts. Screens, louvers, open corridors, and deep eaves ensure that air and nature move through the architecture instead of remaining outside. Homes inhale and exhale with the forest. Instead of sealing out the elements with glass and machinery, these dwellings lean into climate logic. Shaded voids, ventilated courtyards, vine screens, and perforated walls create passive comfort. This is design without arrogance, listening first, building second, and allowing the rainforest to dictate what is wise. Aesthetically, biophilia softens the architecture. Wild foliage becomes the artwork, shadow becomes the pattern, birdsong becomes the soundtrack. There is no need for excess ornament when nature performs so generously. In these homes, luxury is restraint, beauty is borrowed, not imposed. Material choices in these rainforest homes are guided by ethics, climate logic, and longevity rather than trend. Reclaimed hardwood, unpolished stone, clay render, woven fibers, and lime wash finishes allow the buildings to age gracefully instead of being replaced or constantly maintained. Sustainability here is not a brand, it is a construction attitude. Local sourcing minimizes transport impact and supports regional craft economies. Timber is milled nearby, stone is quarried within the region, and handmade components reduce industrial footprint. Every surface tells a story, not of perfection, but of deliberate restraint and ecological responsibility. Textures are left expressive, knots in wood, pores in clay, microcracks in lime, mineral speckles in stone. These imperfections are not flaws, they are signatures of truth. When a home respects material honesty, it ages with dignity, becoming more beautiful, not less, with time and weather. Instead of relying on energy-heavy cooling systems, these rainforest homes are engineered to let the climate regulate itself. Deep overhangs, cross-ventilation corridors, shaded courtyards, stack-effect rooflines, and porous walls reduce heat accumulation. Comfort is achieved structurally rather than mechanically, cooling is designed, not plugged in. Air moves intentionally. Open breezeways align with prevailing wind direction, tall voids let hot air escape upward, and vegetation cools air before it enters living spaces. What feels luxurious is actually physics practiced with humility, letting nature solve what machines normally force. Passive cooling is also sensory. Instead of the artificial hum of compressors, one feels quiet airflow, hears rustling foliage, and senses gradual temperature shifts. The absence of machinery is not a sacrifice, it is a luxury of peace, silence, and long-term sustainability that honors both comfort and conscience. Rather than boxing life indoors, these rainforest homes dissolve edges so that habitation feels continuous. Walls slide away, terraces extend rooms outward, and planting beds creep indoors. One does not step outside, one is already in nature even when seated on a sofa or working at a table. Thresholds are treated as invitations, not borders. Covered verandas extend living areas into the breeze, open kitchens spill toward gardens, and bathing spaces gaze into green without losing privacy. The architecture teaches occupants to live with awareness, to see, smell, and hear the landscape hourly. This fluid boundary also alters how decor functions. Vintage pieces, textiles, and objects are selected to tolerate airflow, humidity, and light because they are participants in a semi-outdoor lifestyle. Design becomes adaptive instead of fragile, durable beauty that lives, not merely poses. Water is not ornamental here, it is climate infrastructure. Reflecting pools, rain-fed basins, shallow troughs, and slow rills temper air temperature while adding acoustic tranquility. The sound, shimmer, and evaporative cooling create relief without electricity, making water both functional and poetic. These water elements are often positioned where breeze passes, so cooled air is carried gently into living spaces. Instead of fountains with motors, gravity and rainfall are harnessed. The rainforest provides abundance, design simply redirects it wisely and quietly. Beyond comfort, water deepens immersion. The eye rests on a mirror of sky, raindrops add rhythm to architecture, and birds visit shallow edges. When mechanical noise is removed, nature fills the soundstage. Life around water slows the nervous system in a way machinery never could. Luxury in these rainforest homes is not expressed through glossy perfection, but through human workmanship. Doors are hand-joined, tiles are hand-pressed, textiles are hand-woven, and metalwork is hammered rather than cast. Each piece bears the fingerprint of time and touch, subtle irregularities that make spaces feel alive instead of manufactured. Craftsmanship also supports dignified economies. Instead of importing factory-made pieces, local artisans carve, weave, forge, and stitch using traditions adapted to climate and culture. Sustainability becomes social, not only ecological, preserving skills, livelihoods, and cultural continuity. These artisanal details also harmonize visually with the rainforest. Soft edges, textured surfaces, and natural pigments age sympathetically over decades, not months. Unlike synthetic decor, handmade components develop character with exposure. They do not decay into ugliness, they evolve into narrative. Even in modern eco-luxury rainforest homes, vintage objects play a quiet but powerful role. A hand-rubbed chest, a weathered mirror, an old brass lamp, or a patinated trunk anchors new architecture and continuity. These pieces soften modern lines and lend emotional weight, memory made visible. Vintage decor is also sustainable by nature. Instead of consuming new resources, these homes readopt, restore, and relove pieces already made decades ago. Nothing is wasted, nothing is rushed, inheritance becomes design language. Beauty is not bought, it is preserved. Time-worn finishes perform especially well in humid, semi-open environments. Unlike fragile lacquer or plastic, old wood, metals, and textiles know how to age with dignity. They do not resent weather, they record it. The rainforest becomes another author in the piece's story. Though these homes feel ancient, they are quietly intelligent. Solar arrays, rain harvesting cisterns, gray water loops, and low-energy appliances operate invisibly. Technology is not made to be seen or admired, it is concealed so the sensory experience remains organic, not electronic. Control systems are gentle rather than flashy. Instead of LED dashboards and beeping panels, automation runs silently, shutters respond to light, pumps react to rainfall, and batteries manage load shifts. Smart living is absorbed into building logic, not displayed like a trophy. This approach preserves the emotional tone of the home. You hear wind, not fans. You see canopy, not conduits. You live in awareness of nature, not equipment. Off-grid design here proves that progress and peace are not opposites, they are finally reconciled. Wellness is not treated as an amenity but as an architectural principle. Meditation decks face green quiet, reading alcoves borrow filtered daylight, and bathing spaces are placed where water and foliage soothe the nervous system. Peace is not decorated into these homes, it is engineered. Materials support nervous calm, matte surfaces, silent hardware, dense textiles, softened color, and no digital intrusions. Spaces are proportioned for slowness, narrower walks, deeper seats, lower light, to cue the body into rest instead of productivity. These homes train the mind to unclench. Even circulation is therapeutic. Walking paths are graded gently, handrails are warm to touch, and floor textures are pleasant under bare feet. Every decision acknowledges the body as a living participant, not an afterthought. Wellness here is not performed, it is lived daily and quietly. Eco-luxury rainforest homes prove that elegance does not require excess, machinery, or waste. When design listens to climate, honors craft, and borrows beauty instead of forcing it, the result is a life that feels both elevated and ethical. Architecture stops fighting nature and becomes its apprentice. Everything we toured, from passive cooling and honest materials to artisanal craft and vintage restraint, shows that sustainability and luxury are not rivals. They are partners when approached with humility and intelligence. These homes demonstrate a future where responsibility looks and feels exquisite. If you were inspired by this journey, please like the video, subscribe to Vintage Touch, Decor with Soul, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement helps us continue filming soulful homes and timeless design stories for our community. Thank you for watching and being part of this gentle design movement.